This is the recipe for the high iron soup you need to eat.
I just saw something that pissed me off so badly, like it ruined my entire day. So I see this video of a girl making a bean soup, okay? That is very critical information. She goes, and for the people who ask me what to use if you don't like beans, no, I don't think we're gonna do that right now. No, what the fuck do you mean? It's a bean soup.
What happened to the thing in people's brains that was like, I don't like, or this doesn't feel particularly relevant to me. I think it's not for me. Hey guys, it's Briar and let's chat about it. So I feel like on social media, we love to give everything a silly little name, whether it's a theory, an era, a vibe. We love to give things a name so all of us besties in the chat can easily and quickly identify what it is we're talking about, right? And in today's video, I kind of just wanted to have a silly little yap about one of these theories, and that is bean soup theory. Pause for sparkle, applause, whatever it is you feel like. Because even though bean soup theory isn't like a new hot, fun and fresh theory, it definitely feels like it only gets more and more relevant by the day. It definitely feels like with everything that happens on social media, anytime there's a conversation to be had, bean soup theory gets brought up and it just feels very topical and fresh, Ziploc, if you will. And so I kind of just wanted to talk about it with you guys. I kind of just wanted to talk about the what is bean soup theory of it all, the how did we get here, how it seems to be affecting all the comment sections, how it seems to be impacting content in general and conversations that happen online. And so if you guys just feel like having a silly little yap about this theory and the kind of what about me, it isn't fair mentality that seems to be happening on social media at the moment, yeah, stick around and let's get into it. I'm sure some of you astute watchers have noticed I'm holding the microphone. I'm really trying to figure out what is the best way to use this here microphone. I feel like last video was better than the video before that, but I just feel like we could keep getting better. Kind of feels silly and stupid to buy a nicer microphone for it to be causing me more problems. Appreciate you guys bearing in with me and just, you know, going through the kind of trial and error of it all. But any slay. Bean soup theory, shall we? Let's just get into it. I think we have to go back to the beginning or go back to 2023 because yeah, that is the year that this silly little theory was born. And it was born out of, hold on to your hats, try and keep your jaws in place. It came out of someone making a bean soup recipe on TikTok. Who would have thunk it? So I think we just simply have to start with the video that started it all and gave this theory and this, I guess, phenomenon. I'm not eating the phenom, it's a phenomenon. Let's just watch the video that gave this theory its name because it really was, I think, for a lot of people, the final straw, but also the ultimate example of this theory and of this kind of what about me mentality that happens on social media and I guess in real life too at the moment. So let's watch the bean soup recipe video, shall we?
This is the recipe for the high iron soup you need to eat on your period. So basically I just soaked these beans overnight, drained them and rinsed them. Now I'm adding 8 cups of water and a chopped up onion. You're going to bring this to a boil, and then once it's boiling, cover this and simmer on low for 90 minutes. Stir it periodically so it doesn't stick to the bottom, and then this is when I like to prep my kale. I try to shove as much kale in there as possible, rip it up in little pieces. This is where a lot of that plant iron is going to come from. So after the timer's up, add your kale, a can of diced tomatoes, garlic powder, chili powder, some smoked paprika. This came with like a vegan ham packet, so I added that in as well, and the juice of 1 lemon. Stir that up, cover it, and simmer it again for 30 minutes, and then it's all done. This is what it's going to look like. It is so good. I like to serve it with some basmati rice, and I eat this the entire week of my period to get all that good plant iron in. It is amazing.
And I'm sure a lot of you Chattinators bestie pops are watching this video thinking, what a cutesy cute video, right? Like how sweet, how lovely. That looks so good for my Northern Hemisphere besties. It looks so good for winter times right now. Like in my mind, I'm like, yes, I do love a good soup in winter. This is really, you know, it looks like a good recipe. Like, and boy, oh boy, that's a lot of beans is also probably what I'm thinking. Lots of fiber, which is good. So I'm sure you're all kind of wondering, what's the problem, Briar? Why are you showing us what is seemingly a very sweet and harmless video of a girly pop sharing her bean soup recipe? And that is because someone commented, and it was literally one of the top comments at the time back in 2023, can I substitute the beans with something else? Can I substitute the beans with something else? This comment literally, it was the last straw. It fried the last brain cell for so many people. It was diabolical lemon scented. People were like, you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be joking. What do you mean you want to replace the beans in a bean soup recipe? Like, maybe if this is not what we want, if we don't like beans, if they don't agree with us, blah, 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 insert your problem here, right? Insert your what about me? It isn't fair. I feel like that's a very, also side note, I feel like it is a very niche song for me to be referencing, the Shannon Noll of it all. It's giving very much Australian 2000s divorced dad music. That's the song I'm referencing and why I keep singing What About Me Is Unfair. I've had enough now, I want my share. Can't you see? I want to live because you just take more than you give. Basically, this video fried a lot of people. It really just made people just like drop their phone, walk away, and just scream into a pillow. I feel like it made people just go out, stare at the sky with their hands on their hips like a dad, and just be like, contemplate the world. Because it's like, maybe the bigger question here is, if I don't like beans, and this is a bean soup recipe, right? Like, it's not a soup that has beans in it, but it's also got like other vegetables, chicken, other things, right? Maybe this is just not the recipe for me, and that is okay, right? But yes, that comment really truly fried the brain cells, and a lot of the comments that are there now are just really funny. It's like, what if I don't like anything in the recipe? Any subs, in brackets, it's my first day on earth, sorry. And this comment that says, what if you can't eat solid food yet because you're a newborn? What if I don't like soup? Everyone now comes back to this video because it truly is the origin story. It truly is the video that gave this theory its name. And this top comment as well that says, you quite literally contributed to the field of sociology with this video. Like, this video truly is a piece of history, right? It's becoming a part of the ancient text, because I think for a lot of people, this comment on this video perfectly encapsulated and perfectly exemplified what a lot of people have been feeling for a while on social media. Like, a lot of people have been noticing these kind of comments and these reactions of the what about me, what if I don't like basically using the comment section as Google and talking to this creator as if they're their own personal friend slash chef. I think it just was such a perfect example of this what about me, of this doesn't suit me, how can you make it suit me? Because this video is on my my For You page, for me page, and this is not what I want, so how can I make it what I want, right? And so I think what made this video go even more viral was this girl Molly's reaction to it. So let's watch that now.
I just saw something that pissed me off so badly, like it ruined my entire day. Like, my day is fucked. Like, I need to like pull myself together before I even explain it. So I see this video of a girl making a bean soup, okay? That is very critical information, that this is a bean themed soup, all right? She used like 15 different fucking beans. It's a bean soup. She's putting other stuff in there, you know, even though beans are still the star of the show here, she's putting in other shit. She's got like kale, onion, you know. Then I see she made a follow-up video because, no fucking shocker here, she had the whole idiot brigade up in her comments asking her nonsense questions as if it's like their first fucking day on earth. I'm not Gordon Ramsay either, but have you guys ever been in a grocery store I'm being like so serious. You don't like kale? They got the chard right next to it. Like that's how they're set up. She's better than me. She's giving like nice, calm answers to all these people's questions, like genuinely trying to help them. And then she says it, the fucking straw that broke the camel's back. I knew that she was gonna say it, but it was just hearing it flipped a switch in my brain and just unleashed this wave of darkness that can only honestly really be described as like what I imagine the Joker went through. She goes, and for the people who ask me what to use if you don't like beans, no, I don't think so. No, I don't think we're gonna do that right now. No, what the fuck do you mean? It's a bean soup. If you don't like beans, go crack open a can of fucking chicken noodle, bitch, and stop pissing me off. Like, I'm so, like, what do you mean? Don't make beans. Who's putting a gun to your head to make this fucking soup tonight? Jesus Christ, like, I don't understand. It's a bean, like, I'm so mad. I know this is so, like, an irrational level of anger. Like, that's actually making me more mad that I'm this angry over it, but it's like, it's a bean soup. I'm not the leader of the bean fan club fucking either. Like but I'm not making bean soup for dinner. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you see a bitch making a peanut butter sandwich, do you think like, what if I don't like peanut butter? It's called make any other goddamn sandwich that exists. What do you like? I just like can't. And I know like it's like right now I'm losing the I don't give a fuck word so badly. I don't even care.
Molly encapsulated how a lot of people felt when they saw the comment section on the bean soup video, right? Because the answer is so simple. Bean soup is not the only soup you can make. There's a bajillion other soups you can make. There's bajillion other vegetables. There's a bajillion other types of like vegetarian, vegan add-ins that you can do. And I feel like the conclusion and the question that we come to is like, what happened to the thing in people's brains that was like, I don't like this, or this doesn't feel particularly relevant to me. I think it's not for me, it's for people that like beans. Like it feels like we really lost that, or not all of us obviously, but people. It feels like there are people out there that lost that part of the prefrontal, the thinking, processing, common sensing. That's gone. It's been deleted. It got like in the iOS, whatever the frack, gone, doesn't exist anymore. And because we're also chronically online, and because we have this literal thing on specifically TikTok that is your For You page, so it literally has warped and stirred up our brain into jelly to make it think For You means every video here is for me, and if it's not for me, the creator, needs to fix it and make it for me and tell me how to make it for me, because that is how people now perceive the For You page. This is how people perceive social media, and even Netflix and all of those different places, because they have an algorithm that is supposed to help you find things that are relevant to you. So now it's like when something isn't relevant to you, it's like a sim, right? Your sim just is like, I don't know what to do. I'm just going to keep running into the table. I'm going to panic. 404 cannot be found. Logic cannot be found. Like the panic cannot be understated in these situations. And I truly just think that Molly's reaction resonated with the people, right? It also really solidified this theory, or the naming of this bean soup theory, because her video has over 5.5 million views, and the bean soup video now has over 10 million views. And I think people still, in the big and old and grumpy year of 2026, even though we're manifesting 2016 ridiculously hard out here, people still come back to the original source. People still find the artifact that is the beginning of this theory, because it's such a perfect example. And so I guess from this, and I think maybe even more importantly, what this bean soup video specifically did was give a name to something that a lot of people have been noticing online for a long time. It's been a long time coming, because it's not like bean soup theory invented these whataboutmeisms, but I think it gave a name to something that people had been frustrated with for a long time. It gave a name and a perfect example to kind of show what people have been talking about and feeling, and is something that to this day still gets brought up as like what this feeling is called, what these types of comment is called, what this mentality that we see with people that we interact with is called. It's no longer like the what about me, the pick me of it all. It's something different. It's very much the what about me in the situation of I think everything out here is for me. I think everything online or in real life is catering to me, and so when it doesn't, I don't know what to do. I panic. I ask how to make it for me instead of considering that maybe it's just not for me. But anyway, I kind of wanted to move into a few different examples of this bean soup theory coming up and of this mentality showing up in different comment sections to show how far and wide it spreads, right? Because it truly is not limited to, like, it's not limited edition for just the food creators on social media. It really is such a wide spanning mentality, and it really does apply to like any video that you see on social media. So I kind of just wanted to go through a few different examples so that we can see the bean soup theory reactions and how it plays out in so many different types of content. So let's watch the first example now.
It's 9 o'clock on a
So this video is an example of what was a very popular trend at the end of 2025. And it was basically like a canon event example of something that happens in your life, and it's like either very important you do or don't do X, Y, Z. So in this example, it says in your 20s, you will have a huge fallout with one of your best friends. It is crucial you reconnect and forgive each other. And for this person, right, for this girl and her life and her canon event, and to relate to this trend, it is very important that she did right. Obviously for her and her best friend, the reconnecting was for the better. The reconnecting and the rebuilding the friendship, the ruined the friendship to then rebuild the friendship, was worth it, was important, was something that was very important for her to do, right? For her to do, and partaking in a trend, a silly trend, right, wrong. If you thought that this girlie could partake in this trend in peace, don't be silly, because all of the top comments are literally like, this is not for you, keep scrolling, no, we're adults, they meant what they did, actually it's crucial that you don't do that. And the creator literally replies to that comment that says, actually it's crucial you do what's best for you. Everyone that saw this video was like, it's my For You page, so this is for me. So this random stranger on the internet is actually giving me advice. I might not even be a girl. I might not even be in my 20s. I might not even have a best friend. But this girl is forcing me to reconcile with someone that was terrible to me in my 20s. No. As she replied to in the comments, it's important to do what's best for you, and for her and this friend, that is what's best. But I think that nuance and the fact that she is saying that was what's good for her, not what everybody else should do, right, that's gotten completely lost. That does not exist in this universe. That does not exist in these comment sections. For some reason, when people saw this video, they were like, this person, the stranger, is forcing me to reconcile with someone that did me really wrong. No, of course not. This girl's video is not here to tell you to reconcile with someone that was awful to you. Don't be a silly goose. If you want to be a silly goose, you got to get back in the pond. Give this girlie a little nuance. Give it the fact that this is just a silly video partaking in a silly TikTok trend. This is not her coming on to social media and being like, this video has come up on your For You page to force you to reconcile. This video is me telling you that you have to reconcile with that person that was so mean to you. Like, no, of course not. I feel like we can all relate to the idea of like, there are some people, I'm not becoming friends with them again. Sorry. And I feel like even this girlie probably has other friends that she wouldn't apply this advice to. But because of this what about me, bean soup theory mentality, the knee-jerk reaction when people see this content is that it is for them and that this is what they are telling them to do, as opposed to someone just sharing their experience and partaking in a trend. And she actually made a follow-up video reacting to the situation because that was the overwhelming reaction in the comments. And the video said, "Who knew forgiving your best friend over a silly argument was such a controversial topic?" And it very much seems like for her and this best friend, it was something silly and trivial. No one betrayed the other person beyond repair. No one did something really awful and unforgivable, right? And for them, it made sense to reconnect because they actually are really good friends and they do want to be friends. And literally her caption is bean soup theory for real. And I feel like this comment kind of sums up the whole situation. It's definitely people who are projecting their own personal situation with an awful person onto you, and I guess onto her video. "I also lost my best friend over a silly argument and neither of us were ever toxic or bad to each other or really hurt each other. I was literally just in a really bad mental health space and didn't know how to communicate it, and it spiraled. Sometimes it's not that deep and toxic." That comment kind of sums up the knee-jerk reaction of people seeing her video and then applying it to not the same scenario, right? Like, she's saying the argument was silly, no one was toxic, but then when it came across people's For You pages, it was getting applied in that way. And to give people in the original comment section credit, like, I do agree that it was like a huge falling out, so I can imagine for a lot of people seeing that, like, they read huge falling out and they think of a situation in their life which was a huge falling out. And for a lot of people, it's not over something silly. Like, unfortunately for a lot of people, it is over something more stressful or upsetting or toxic or mean or with someone that they would never want to reconcile with. So I can understand how that, like, you know, steps in the brain go. Definitely can understand how for people that TikTok specifically triggered negative memories and negative bad friendship like examples in their mind. But I think what gets twisted in these scenarios is that this trend was for that person specifically, not giving advice externally, but because of how people interact with their For You pages, they take it as this is someone giving me advice as opposed to them sharing their own personal experience. And it is just a very interesting example of it. Like, I definitely don't fault people for being reminded of or thinking of a negative friendship experience or thinking of an experience that they wouldn't want to reconcile. But I think where the bean soup comes in is that then it is turned into this person's giving advice as opposed to sharing their personal experience. But anyway, would love to know what you guys think about that one specifically, but let's move on to the next example.
As someone who's been diagnosed with POTS, I no longer want to be associated with the condition after posting a TikTok in which all of the other people in the world with POTS bean souped my comments. I no longer faint randomly throughout my day. You people are so fucking annoying. Please always go away. I will simply regrow my small fibers of nerves, and my Sjogren's and lupus will just have to not progress any further. Please, I beg of you, if you have POTS, learn how to read. When someone explicitly excludes you as an exception to the rule, it is no longer all about you. You are not the main character, and no one gives a shit. I now understand all negative stereotypes related to POTS, and God bless anyone with POTS who does not act this way.
Unfortunately, this is a sad outcome to see with this kind of bean soup mentality, right? Because I think a lot of people took a lot of comfort and like found a real community when they are going through a diagnosis or when they, you know, are having health struggles, and they find other people online with the same condition, right? And I think it used to feel like a real sense of community. It really used to feel like, okay, we're all supporting each other, we're sharing our stories. It's not medical advice. It's not one size fits all advice. It's very much just providing a sense of community and sharing awareness. And I feel like this example is definitely a very like sad example of how the bean soup theory and this mentality is kind of ruining that or taking away from that, because as this creator says, like, she doesn't want to partake anymore. She doesn't want to be part of the community because there are so many people in her comments having the what about meisms, saying that her advice doesn't fit them, so she's wrong, having this kind of reaction instead of, like we were talking about with the last video, realizing that this is like experience sharing and not like advice forcing. I found this comment really funny that says, I learned what bean soup theory is, now there's a name to my irritation. It's another perfect example of why the kind of phrase bean soup theory has been so, you know, grabbed with both arms. Like, people really love the name because it is such a frustration, and it is something that people see in so many different scenarios that they're like, thank you for giving it a name, because this has been bothering me so much. I'm so glad I have something to call it. And honestly, it reminds me a little bit of when we talked about the Boxing Day drama in one of my, I think it was like one of the last videos I posted last year. People were upset because a brand was doing a higher percentage sale for the in-store as opposed to online. So I think from memory, it was like 25% off online, but 40% off in store. And I think the comment that fried a lot of people was someone said that it was location privilege because they didn't live near a store. And it's just like, sometimes things are not for us, right? Sometimes advice doesn't pertain to us. Sometimes something that works for someone isn't going to work for us. And that is just life. Like, this is just the cookie, and that's just the way it's crumbled. But I do think it is sad when you see it in these scenarios where it's like, people are trying to find a community and support during a stressful time, right? During a literal health diagnosis, during huge changes in their life, and they're wanting to find support and advice and community, and instead they're surrounded by the what about me's of it all. And this comment as well really does show that it's not just like the POTS community, it's a lot of different communities, where this girlie says, this is me with the ADHD community, because what do you mean you need to be on full disability because you can't get up on time? Like, believe me, I know how debilitating this condition can be, but stand up, y'all. It does really seem like this applies to many a health situation, to many a community, where it's like people almost can't handle the fact that they're in a room full of people that are similar but not the same. And so they're like, well, that thing's different and I'm actually different. But anyway, let's move on to the next example.
Okay, so bean soup theory. Let's talk about it. One day I bought a cake from Costco and I took it home and I took all the icing off and I redecorated it. I turned a Costco sponge cake into a Costco sponge bob. You see what I did there? I thought it was a pretty fun, entertaining video. And you know what? A lot of people agreed with me, but there were quite a few out there that were annoyed by it. People out there not understanding why anyone would buy a pre-baked cake. It's lazy. Bake your own. Bean soup theory. If you've never heard of it, it's basically when someone comments on a video on social media expecting the video to cater to them, and they have like the inability to realize that maybe this video just was catering to someone else. It happens all the time with my videos too. There are so many reasons why you might want to buy a pre-baked cake. Sometimes I like to show people what they can do with pre-baked cakes. And just because you want to make your cake from scratch doesn't mean everyone else can or will or wants to.
And I truly love this example because, again, like the bean soup recipe, the original video was made with helpful and thoughtful and kind intentions, but because obviously it's not relevant to every single person that it gets shown to on their For You page, instead of being like, oh, it's not for me, that's fine, teehee, move on to the next one, thank you, next, it's all of a sudden like it's something personal, it's something against them. It needs to be brought up that this is not catering to them. Catering. The other thing that I am loving is these types of comments that are really just poking fun at the whole situation. Like this one that says, what if I'm allergic to cake? Or can I substitute the cake for bean soup? This video was just to show people, hey, maybe you're not super comfortable with making a big cake, but you want to make something fun. Here's how you can decorate a cake and still make it feel fun and personalized. But Instead it was like, how absolutely dare you suggest to people that they redecorate a store-bought cake? Like, this isn't relevant for me, so it couldn't be relevant for anybody else. What's that actually called? Like, there is a word for it when you realize, you know, when you're like sitting in your car, you're driving in your getaway car, and you just really, Kylie Jenner, realize things that everyone else in the cars around you have their own lives, their own struggles, their own dreams and aspirations. There's a word for that. I feel like the people that leave these bean soup type of comments, they need to have that. They need to, I don't know, go for a drive, do a little Rihanna shut up and drive perhaps, and just kind of look around, look out, like get off the damn phone and look around and just really try to comprehend how many people are around you living their own lives, and they're very different to yours, and they all have their own experiences, struggles, hardships, heartbreaks. I think when you try to comprehend that and ultimately fail, because mind-blowing, right? But I feel like when you become more aware of the people around you, of life around you, of just that life isn't for you in the same way that it is in the little square, I feel like it's so much easier to just like let go of the bean soup brain. Let it go, because the bean soup never bothered me anyway. The unfortunate unintended consequence of the For You page, of algorithms, of, you know, the clever and scary technology out there that makes you feel so seen and understood and so catered to, does give you a warped perception of reality, of life beyond the screen. Let me out of this box, guys. Help. I'm stuck in a box and just a head. I think what we're dealing with now is like these unintended consequences of these algorithms being so good, of this language, of it's for you, of, I guess as well, like just when you're a young person and, you know, everything's about you. Advertising's about you, trends are about you, like everything, it feels like it's catering to you, that it's easier, I think, for especially young people and people that are online a lot and are in these bubbles. Like it seems like we've made people forget the world that exists beyond that. And I think as well, like we see it with influencers a lot and how out of touch they become. Like the more of a bubble you live in, the harder it is almost to get people to see outside of that bubble. But to end the examples, I wanted to show you this girl's video where she has collated some bean soup comments. So let's watch that now.
There are some bean soup comments I've seen in the last day because it's getting out of hand. First was this video that says, crochet this bag with me, and it's a very simple little granny square bag. And these are the top comments. I don't know how to make a granny square. I can crochet, but cannot make a granny square. I don't get it. Take 5 seconds, go to YouTube and type how to make a granny square, or find a different project. Maybe this one's not for you. Go hiking at Mount Rainier this summer. You know, maybe if you live in the area, you're looking for a little thing to do. Well, I'm poor and it's thousands of miles away from me. Okay, then it doesn't apply to you. Does not apply to you, I guess. The full screenshot's not here, but at the top there above his head, it said, if you have health insurance. If you have health insurance, go see a primary care doctor. Someone said I don't have insurance. There's a caption on the video that says, if you have health, I can't. I don't have vision insurance and my glasses are 4 years old. Bean soup.
She has so many good examples, and honestly, as someone who lives in New Zealand, or just like, I think anyone that lives in the Southern Hemisphere can relate to some of these comments, because since the dawn of time, right, since the sun, the moon, the stars all aligned, as PhD Professor Hilary Duff once saying, we have been dealing with the bean soup silly questions for a while. Every summer, which is right now for me, I am living in summer because I live in the Southern Hemisphere, as do a lot of people. The Northern Hemisphere people, besties, will always be like, why are you wearing a top? Like, why are you wearing short sleeves? Why are you talking about summer? That doesn't pertain to me. I'm in winter. And like, we have dealt with these types of questions for a long time. And so we can truly relate to these types of questions on like a molecular level. That's such a tangent of me saying like, I can relate to those types of questions on a personal and Southern Hemisphere level. And I feel like a lot of besties will be able to relate to that. But I do just feel like in some respects as well, like the comment section does often turn into like google.com. It does often turn into, what were the other ones? Yahoo, Bing, Ask Jeeves. I guess now everyone's just using ChatGPT, right? GPT? I don't know, I'm dyslexic. People like treat social media and social media comment section as if this is Google, someone has to give me an answer. If you haven't told me something, you need to give me all the information. You have to make this completely relevant to me. Otherwise, why on earth am I seeing it? But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed those examples. And now I just kind of wanted to finish on a couple of different videos of people just talking about bean soup theory in general, and just maybe the bigger whys, the bigger thoughts that have been thunk about it all. So let's get into those now.
The endless caveats on the internet are going to be the death of us and the death of comprehension skills and the death of the ability to understand context. Every time I upload a video or I see a video from someone else, there is always someone, if more often than not, over half of the comments, people going, what about that? Have you thought about this? Bringing up a caveat that you specifically needed for a video does not make you more thought-provoking or a deeper thinker than the person that made the video. It makes it seem like you have bad comprehension skills and you lack the ability to understand context.
Bean soup theory is one of the most insane things to come from TikTok, and I love talking about it so much because it makes me so mad. I saw another creator refer to it as whataboutmeism, and I think she's absolutely right, because something has happened where everything has to be about ourselves. Like, I saw a video, and this girl was talking about how she's not going to see her dad for a really long time, if ever again, because he's going to prison. And that's a huge thing, right? And of course, the top comment's like, but I'm not going to see my dad again because he's dead, so. And I'm like, okay, it's not about you. This video is not about you. Make your own video. It'd be one thing if she asked for, like, stories or, like, tell me what happened, like, why don't you see your, like, parents much? Like, that'd be one thing, but this is different. And I saw another video. I went to bat for this girl in the comments, by the way. It's some woman, like, saying, you need to stop and, like, really enjoy your wedding morning. Like, this is me trying to really enjoy my morning because it goes by so fast. And the comments are like, oh, until he cheats on you, though. Or like, oh, well, I hated my wedding morning. I'm like, okay, we don't care. Make your own video. Honestly, I'm sure it's a story I'd love to hear, but it's not your video. And I think people get so, like, pissed when you call them out on that, because yes, it is a free country. We can comment whatever we want under, like, people's videos, but it's crazy to me that you're going to find any way to make a video that is in no way targeted towards you. Like, you are not the target audience for this video, and you're still going to make it about yourself.
When I hear those examples, I do almost wonder if, like, bean soup theory is the 2020 version of the I'm not like other girls, quirky, different, random, silly, so goofy mentality that we had in the 2010s. Are these mentalities just almost like bound to happen? We see this type of mentality in different forms over time. Like, is it just that the bean soup version and the 2020 version is very much informed by what's happening on around us, right? The For You page, the algorithm, the mindset of like, this is always about me. So when it's not, I'm going to comment to make sure that everyone knows why I'm different, why it doesn't pertain to me, why it should pertain to me. Do you know what I'm even saying? But the top comments are so funny, like this one that says, can we call it potato soup theory? I don't like beans. Or, but what if I don't like theories? Yeah, like what if I don't want it to be a theory? What if I want it to be a hypothesis? What if I want it to feel more scientific? I do think that this comment is also very interesting as well, that says, everyone is suffering from main character syndrome. Bean soup theory is just another word for it. It's not like one thing that's equaled bean soup, right? It feels like many things, and it feels like, you know, the kind of influence of main character energy, like the fact that that has been something that's been so pushed on us, and that we have to be the main character and nobody owes me anything, and like all of these things combined together has then also has then also resulted in the bean soup mentality, the like absolute offense that it feels like to people when they get a video that's not about them, or almost just this like forgetting of, okay, this is someone sharing a story. Why is the knee-jerk reaction to be like, I'm gonna one-up this person, I'm going to make it about me, I'm gonna show you why it could always be worse? Like, it does feel like that kind of initial reaction of empathy and the villager mindset that we feel like has been lost, like all of these things do feel very interconnected. And that's also kind of why I wanted to talk about this, because I did kind of enjoy talking about those other like mindsets and theories that we've talked about in other videos. The bean soup theory is like another example of it. And like, if this was like a tree, it would be another branch. Like we have the main character mindset branch, we have the I don't know anyone anything branch, and then we also have the bean soup theory, like what about meism branch. Let's watch the what about meism video, shall we?
We are living in the golden age of how can I make this about me? How can I make this about me? And frankly, I am so exhausted. I could post a video saying I love strawberries and someone will immediately comment,
no, some of us are allergic to strawberries.
Okay, go eat a peach then, Brittany. I don't know what you want me to. This isn't a hostage situation. No one's shoving a strawberry down your gullet. Okay? It's like no matter what, every topic is a sensitive topic now. Everything requires disclaimers and trigger warnings, and it's out of control. I just announced that I'm pregnant with twins, and since that announcement, all of my comments and DMs are from people saying, congratulations, but I miscarried my twins at 14 weeks. Like at a time of celebration where I'm like, I'm having twins. People are like, I miscarried mine. Why are you telling me this right now? Same exact thing with one of my best friends. She has struggled with recurrent loss and she's going through the IVF process. She just got her egg implanted, found out that the egg split, they're having twins. It's a miracle, huge blessing. We're all so excited. Now all of her DMs and all of her comments are from people that are like,
don't get too excited yet because same thing happened to me and mine died.
Why? Why say that? What are we doing? But this is what I mean. We have lost the plot, you guys. We have lost all sense of time and place. We completely lack discernment. It's like people are so terminally and chronically online that we've forgotten what the sense of self means and self-awareness. Imagine you're at a party, okay? You're at a big birthday party where everyone's having fun and there's one person in the corner sulking that's like, oh, I hate parties. Then leave. Are we not seeing how ridiculous this is? Do I have empathy? Of course. Yes, we all have our shit. All of us. We all have our shit. But do we need to read the goddamn room? Yeah, we do. Not everything is a call for your origin story. So just the next time you're tempted to comment, what about me? What about me? I urge you to remember, it's just bean soup. You can scroll. Thank you.
And I just truly love this comment that says, how do I airdrop this to 8 billion people? It is a frustrating environment to constantly find yourself in, of instead of seeing empathy and support and people enjoying something and enjoying content, that there's always this kind of like nagging, what about me? It isn't fair. What about this? Why this doesn't pertain to me? This is actually upsetting to me. Tone that's in a lot of people's comment sections. I mean, luckily for me, not you guys. I don't think I've seen any what about me's in the bestie chats comment section, but you never know. You guys might comment something silly like, what if I don't like chatty videos? Then what, right? What if I don't like talking about theories? You know, what if I don't like that you got a new microphone and you don't know how to use it properly, perfectly the first time round, second time round, third time's a charm? There could be some of those silly comments, and to that I say, sure, okay. Fair enough. You got me there. I think a lot of people just want to like smack the phone out of a lot of people's hands, push them outside and say, look, there's a whole new world out there. There's a whole lot happening. There's a whole lot of people with a whole lot of life and a whole lot of things going on. And so not everything's always going to be about you. And that is okay. And I feel like more importantly, to add to that, when it is about you, like, don't you want to feel like you are also given the space to share, to have empathy, to have people that you can rely on and share with and that will support you? What kind of an environment do you want to have, and do you want to see, and do you want to interact with? I think that is the biggest thing, is that people enjoy sharing and telling stories and sharing experiences online. And I think this is why it's so frustrating, right? Because people find that this just detracts. It puts people off sharing. It takes what is a nice, cutesy, thoughtful food video and turns it into something else. And people are just sick of it, because people really enjoy the sense of community. People really enjoy going online and hearing people's stories and hearing about other people's experiences. And this is ruining it. Or in her examples, like, people were being like, quite frankly, quite inappropriate towards her and her friend. And it's like, someone posting that they're pregnant or someone posting about their life it's not to take away from you. Them saying their thing, like, is full stop next sentence, then there's your life thing, right? You know, we all, there's one sun, right? But we can all use it. I just kind of want to end on some silly little skits, because I do feel like when something becomes a part of the skit and comedic culture, it really solidifies it as part of like the social commentary and like what is very topical and relevant at the moment. And I think as well, by making jokes and by being silly and making a skit out of it, it hopefully kind of shows people why this behavior, it's not great. Like, it's not funny. It's funny to make a joke of, but it's not funny. It's not a good thing to comment. And I feel like comedy, when used in that way, can almost be a very helpful way to bring up those conversations and to challenge people in those comment sections to be like, hey bestie, hey little bean over there, maybe we shouldn't act like this in the comment section. Like, what kind of, you know, vibe do you really want to be providing to the situation? But anyway, let's watch those videos now.
Your pineapple pizza, egg salad sandwich, and a free bowl of bean soup. They made too much or something.
But I don't like beans.
That's fine. I can eat it.
Did you seriously just try to force feed me bean soup when you know I don't like beans?
I didn't know that. I'm not forcing you to do anything.
Are you at least gonna pick the beans out?
What?
I don't like beans, so the least you can do is pick the beans out if you want me to eat the soup so bad.
I don't want you to eat the soup. They just gave it to me. You don't have to eat.
What if I was allergic to beans? I could have died. And it's possible that maybe I could have been allergic to beans. Why wouldn't they make the recipe bean-free if they made it for me?
They didn't make it for you.
But it's already me.
Not anymore.
It's mine.
It's not yours. They just gave it to me, and I thought I'd offer you some because it's the polite thing to do, in case you wanted any. Honestly, I don't even like beans that much. I'll just leave it in the fridge in case somebody else wants it.
I was just served a bowl of bean soup from your establishment, and I have a major problem. Can I speak with your manager?
I'm sorry, ma'am. We've already had about 6-7 people call about the bean soup today, so it's gonna be a minute before our manager can speak with you.
There you have it. That's my recipe for a pineapple cake. Wow, that sounds so good. Thank you. That looks so good. Thanks. Yum. Thanks. I made this and it was great. Thank you. I think I'm gonna try this recipe. Thank you. I don't like pineapple. Okay. Okay.
This brownie recipe only has 6 ingredients: flour, eggs, cocoa powder, a milk of your choice, a little bit of baking soda, and vanilla extract.
Sorry, I don't like brownies, so what else can I make?
Well, it's a brownie recipe.
Yeah,
so.
and I don't like bananas.
I didn't say bananas.
Could I use almond milk in this?
Yeah, I said a milk of your choice.
I like mac and cheese. Could I make that instead?
What could I use instead of the flour, eggs, milk, baking soda, and cocoa powder?
That's literally everything.
What can I substitute for the brownies?
Could I add chocolate chips?
I'm allergic to baking soda. You know, one
Could
time
we
I
take
had
out
this
the
pie
bananas?
that
I
had
didn't say
baking soda
bananas.
baked into the crust.
And
And
then
then
my
tongue
really
it
don't like
swelled to the
brownies,
size
so-
of a lizard.
And then I had to go to the hospital.
I never said bananas, and this is a fucking chocolate brownie recipe.
Whoa, no need to get aggressive. Can I substitute your attitude?
I'm gonna take this brownie and I'm gonna
And I personally just enjoyed those videos. I'm not saying you had to enjoy them or find them funny, but I thought it could be a funny little silly way to end the video. But if you didn't enjoy them because you don't like skits, that's okay. See what I did there? But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoy these types of videos where we kind of just dive into like a theory or a theme or a topic that I have noticed that I have observed and perceived. Scary, I know, on social media. I enjoy them. So I hope you guys do too. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching. If you stayed to the end, you are a real one. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Ooh, that was different and fun. And if you want to keep up with me between my uploads, I am on TikTok and Instagram, and I'll link my vlog channel down below. YouTube should be recommending another one of my videos on the screen right now. But I think what is most important, is that we remember that you don't have to worry, because I'm not funny there either. Bye.